Yeah, thematically, I think the show is really relevant because it talks about loneliness and isolation in ways that I think have become sort of like a cultural trend to discuss, of like whether it's the male loneliness epidemic, which I don't think is exclusive to men, but also like the general digital loneliness epidemic, in that like now that we live so much online, it's a lot harder to find in-person connections. And so this play is all about people who are stuck in a small space together and really don't know how to deal with each other and don't want to deal with each other, and over the course of the play have to learn how to, for better or worse.
I mean, Jen Silverman is an incredible playwright. The writing is so funny, which you don't always realize just reading it, because you're picturing this dark, Victorian, Gothic kind of family.
It's very unique, yet is also really accessible because it's drawing on all of these literary, English literature, Gothic literature references that I know people, and especially Sewanee people, will be familiar and interested in.
Where it kind of is inspired by Wuthering Heights and Jane Eyre and the Bronte sisters. Like, this is really where we're coming from.
Everyone in this show, every character in this show, wants something that they can't have. They yearn for something more.
They all have very big feelings, and whether they express them right away or learn to express them along the course of the play, there are lots of large, passionate outbursts and speeches that all of the characters get to work through. And I think those clashings of emotions are where a lot of the tension comes from. It's really unique as a director at Sewanee, as a student director at Sewanee, because I'm always working with my peers. Sometimes I'm working with people who I've had one class with, sometimes I'm working with people who I live with, which luckily creates a lot of ease in the rehearsal room. I don't have to worry too much at Sewanee about creating chemistry between actors. There's a lot that we can just jump in and get started on the work without having to do all like the politics of meeting brand new people, which is really lovely. In this play in particular, it's been extremely easy to, I think, focus and be on the same page as people, which I'm very lucky to say. We have a group who are very hardworking and very invested in the play, and I think that is really reflected in the work.
Ivy and I have worked together for my entire college career, partially just because we're very good friends, but also we have a very aligned vision, I think, in terms of what makes a show fun and what is funny, and we have a similar aesthetic sense, which makes working with him incredibly easy.
Ivy is the best. This is my first play that I've done where Ivy has been my director, and it has just been absolutely lovely.
He is so specific with his vision, and he knows exactly what he wants and how to make everybody in the creative team get there. So it's always really inspiring to be in a room with him.
Well, Ivy has a very clear vision, is a great director, and is just always ready to try something fun.
And I feel like he has the perfect balance of making every rehearsal fun, while also making sure we're always on task. He's always very intentional with his directing choices, and I have a lot of respect for him. He's a great director.
It is one of the most clear and concise and best flowing experiences.
He inspires a very collaborative spirit with everyone he works with.
And so a lot of the decisions I've made are people coming to me with ideas that are things I never could have imagined or never would have interpreted from the script, and either saying, yes, I think that'll work, or no, maybe we need to change that to be more aligned with other people's ideas.
So I think it's really powerful for students to have that power and to say, I want to do this. And for us to say, we understand, there's might maybe be a time limitation. What if we took your idea and did this? And then we have that collaboration, engagement.
And really, all that I find it as my job to do in the rehearsal room is keep the environment positive and fun and creative and not too serious. Even if we were doing a straight up drama, I don't think having an extremely serious rehearsal room is really helpful for anyone. It's a play about change, I think, and about people learning how to deal with change or trying to resist change, and then it gets thrust upon them. And so I think those cycles of change are the whole thing.